Away from that, who knows the whereabouts of former governor of Kogi State? Well, that's a multi-billion-naira question, as the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has declared him wanted after he failed to appear at the court for trial over alleged 80.2 billion naira fraud. PDP Chieftain Segun Sowunmi joins me now on the program. Thank you for joining us at this time. What is your assessment of Yahaya Bello running away from the EFCC's invitation?
Can you rephrase that question and not even make us a little bit more angry than we are already? You could have said, what is my assessment of the EFCC charade, and I will answer you. I do not know whether anybody has run away, because I kind of find it extremely painful that this country has found itself in another situation where people just do whatever they like. Some cabal sits down somewhere and begin to just make everybody run on a rat race, pretending that they are running a country. Let me establish the issues that are vexing. First of all, for a very long time, they have been banding a 80 million figure that first of all got to court, claiming that it happened 5 months or 4 months before the poor young man got into government. When they discovered their error, they filed another one saying it's not the same day, they changed the year. Then they started to harass him so much before he would leave office. And rightfully, he sought to, get his fundamental human right in a legal court. And the court said, okay, this fundamental human right case is on board. They didn't wait for that. They didn't appeal that. They jumped into another court in some kind of annoying forum shopping and say they have something. And they did not even serve him any notice of invitation. Neither did they ask him to respectfully come like they've done to the others. Like, what is source for Fayemi? Is that not supposed to be source for Yahaya Bello? And I want to say this very clearly. Was he available,
Mr. Sowunmi, was he available to be served the invitation?
How did they serve Fayemi? How did they inform him? Did they go to Fayemi's house, the police officers, hounding people?
Mr. Sowunmi, we're actually, in this case, we are talking about Yahaya Bello. We're not talking about Fayemi or any other person. No, so could we just take...
Madam, when you ask me a question, can you let me answer it the way I know? I'm trying to make you see like for like. I'm trying to tell you that if you invite anybody, you should invite them in the manner that is dignified and respectful, and then you should wait for them to come. And then when they don't come, you can then start raising all your red herring. But you didn't do that. Leave that aside. How do you explain the fact that it is the same council that is representing a person who has political reason to be upset with Bello, which is the SAN Oketukpa, that is also representing EFCC? Have you not seen the hands of Jacob and the hands of Esau here? Why would we be in this country and be deceiving ourselves? This was what you did in Ogun State under the reign of Jegbenga Daniel. EFCC will not do the investigation thoroughly. They will bandy big figures in the newspaper. They will malign people's names. They will take them to go to trial. They won't be able to prove the case. They won't have the opportunity to say sorry. They will just embarrass everybody. Okay, why is Yahaya Bello special? Is it the only governor that has just finished this term that others are now free to walk around? Their friends are free to walk around, but the ones that they think they can bully because he's young and he doesn't have too many godfathers. And let me just put this straight. Those who think that it always makes sense not to respect people who worked very hard, cracked the palm kernel for them so that they can even enjoy the privileges that they are enjoying now, must understand that the society is watching. You can't do that. You first of all said he's running away. Then you came and said you can't find him. Then you said you went to court to try to vacate an order that you couldn't even vacate. You were slow in coming to court. If you knew you were going to go to court to try and vacate that order, why were you harassing everybody in the country? Why were you maligning his name? Why were you refusing to take counsel from other people that tell us this is not the right way to do things? Nobody is telling you that you don't have... Can I land? Nobody is telling you don't have a right to invite people. But there is a decent way of doing things. You can't be harassing him, making him scared, giving the impression you want to kill him, threatening him with soldiers. What has he done? In any case, his state says their money is not missing. Are you going to be looking for money that is already his state is saying is not missing? And if in case you really have a case, why are you?
Mr. Sowunmi, that's the decent way you're talking about.
I'm talking about the
invitation, which obviously he hasn't honored.
Listen. We can't pretend that there is a law for the goose and a different law for the gander. I am not in their party. I don't know. I know Yahaya Bello not in any other way than he's a young man that sometimes I like his energy and I see all the things he was doing for their party. And you have asked me to come and talk to you from the perspective of how opposition sees it. And I'm telling you that the way we see it is that you are just meddling the whole country up. You are running a Gestapo. You are picking on your friends. You are leaving the ones you fear. You are bullying the ones you think you can bully. You are not following due process. You are allowing the same lawyer that is representing Ajaka in court to be the same lawyer that EFCC is using to harass him. Where is that done? Where in the world is that done? Can you not see?
When the government is handling the matter, whether it's corruption or security, shouldn't it be everyone who's involved that they actually go after? I mean, does it have to be there's a certain group of people who are followed per time?
Look, let me tell you, in our country, these guys that are politically exposed, called governor, ministers, presidents, and what have you, they also deserve the protection of the larger society. We are not asking that people should not, account for activities, but we're talking about the process and the procedure. And we're trying to see that those who are sitting and fiddling with the brains of those that are supposed to be looking for Yahaya Bello, there are thousands of other governors there that they are not inviting. When they start to invite the other in the same way they are inviting him, when they start to Gestapo them, when they start to mime them and smoke them and irritate everybody, then we'll say we have a new Adolf Hitler in our country. But in the meantime, can the EFCC step back a little bit and ask itself, what is the normal legal procedure? You don't have to be in a hurry. The matter is not even status bad. You have enough time to follow the rules. You have enough time to take the books. I was speaking to journalists earlier today, and they were telling me that, look, the guy doesn't even have any legitimate paper before all the Gestapo started. And they are saying to me that the state where he comes from, where he has ruled, who normally should be the ones saying that, oh, we have an issue with him, are the ones trying to protect him. Why should Kogi state government be protecting him? Why should everybody that love him, why should civil society be protecting him? Why should lawyers be protecting him? And then why should it be Jackass friends that are now using the little influences they have around the villa to be harassing him? No decent person will accept that. No decent person will say this is right, and it has nothing to do with the substance of the case. And like I tried to make a nexus for you, Daniel ran through 10 years of the same irritating agony, and at the end of the day, they couldn't even reasonably prosecute. They have to find that they are not interested in the matter. What's going on with us here? Anti-corruption must be systematic. Anti-corruption must be deliberate. Anti-corruption must obey the law. You can't choose which court orders you are going to obey. You can't be asking Yahaya Bello, who has been told, who thinks he has a case in his hand that says, stay, to come and break that law so that you can come and hang him with the one that you and your friends and his political rivals are the ones dragging around. And why do you have to see in a hurry?
Mr. Sowunmi, Yahaya Bello would actually be arraigned at the Federal High Court, Abuja, tomorrow, Tuesday. What is your advice to him? Should he appear or should he not?
Well, I'm talking about the first actions that they've done, which has already even started showing bias. I will advise that, yes, whatever he thinks him and his lawyers are going to do, they should do. But I'll just say to the president and the members of the president's family, what goes round usually comes round. This is how I'll be shouting when they start to hound him inappropriately when he's done. We need to understand that political motivated prosecution should not be allowed, no matter who is chasing him. You said 80 million.
Mr. Sowunmi, you've made
a
grave allegation.
You can't justify why it is the same lawyer that is representing his political rival Ajaka, who is in court with them in Kogi. That is the same lawyer that is representing EFCC on the same case. Can't you see the conflict of interest?
Well, Mr. Sowunmi, I know you have mentioned, quite a number of points, but then eventually it has to be a lawyer who would represent the EFCC, and the EFCC has brought someone forward. So if he feels uncomfortable with that, shouldn't he have approached the law court to register, his displeasure?
Why should he trust them? He approached the law court to protect his fundamental human right. They chose to ignore that. And suddenly it's Ajaka's lawyer that is running all over the place trying to charge him. That's the only lawyer in Nigeria that EFCC can come and find. And I hear all the things that senior counsels are saying. And I'm asking myself, do we run a nation that works on whims and caprices? And don't forget, we have a duty to even try to protect Yahaya a bit because he's young. We're not going to have the older generation come and destroy the only one that even came close to power because they are trying to play politics with it. You will be shocked that by the time they even go to trial, if they do get to trial, that they won't even be able to prove these allegations.
All right, then. PDP Chieftain Segun Sowunmi, we must sincerely appreciate you for joining us on the program and sharing your perspectives with us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we actually tried to get the EFCC on the program, but they'll be joining us in our bulletins later, and that will be the spokesman of the EFCC, Dele Oyewale, for the Commission's position on this matter. But that's our program today. Do watch a repeat broadcast at midnight and at 6 a.m. I am Abosedi Adeniran Duremi. Bye for now.